coming into high center, high rotation surface interaction. Okay, your position line settings is all level location. So we have to get in positions of who we are, what we're coming into, all through timeline. Set locations when school, basically the bell rings. So it's amazing when you come in that line setting. All right, so we got so many graph lines and high center interference. We got in this line provision into sublocations, graph line settings. Okay. Now, there's a 1 second delay, right? Because I'm changing space anomaly. Remember, everything is reset. So it's about fixing these things and understand where you are in track location, your own space position travel. But the graph line settings, the high center interference is all position location of system interaction. Okay, and how to set up locations, all line settings. So it's kind of like understanding how to set up a matrix strip. It's a film strip location life cycles. Sets position to its operation system locations, all through division. You got to that setting, right? So it's just in position traction, all calculations. Knowing exactly what you're coming into, all frequency patterns and high set location. Okay? Know exactly how you see these things and all through provision. Okay? So, getting in position and line settings, a screen location system, we've got a 24 line setting equals line cohesion of 0, 1. Okay? So 12 line signatures out. So equal lines correlation setting in position of travels. Y lines sets line condition of flux past position of travel. Okay? Now in that direct locations in position that changes every line condition I settings. 2 over 2 track locations, 3 over lines of pi, and 4 lines of signal. Okay? And 5 lines of channel in set locations. Right? So you're creating a pyramid, right? Set position of 1. Right? There's the pyramid set location. Boom. So that's how this is set up now. Each Earth line connections have 1, 2, and 3 clock locations, right? All in 24. Just different frequency patterns in set location. Okay? Wave 1, 2, and 3. All right? Now the center communication lines has changed now. Right? So 0 line calculation, 0 line I line center. Calculation of 3 line position location of centers. Okay, so we got 2 in track, 3 lines in position. That's 5 over sequence. That puts position location of 4 line change lines of directions in set locations of 4 in position of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that's 2, 3, 4, 5. See where I'm going with that? 2, 3, 4, 5. Center calculations the positive and negative. Okay, indicates high line interference into 6, 7, and 8 line signals as set locations, right? So that's how everything is set up now. Okay, through 0, 1 traction. Okay, understanding line calculation setting high position location is graph lines. Okay, in position. Comes into a graph line screen. This platitudes, this line stream location is coming in this line communications, right? So you really have to understand how to sequence your patterns in all directions to system locations. Coming in communication lines into a solar sail, a reset location. Okay, there's the sail. All right. Okay, so that's going to go out of the equation. Now, signature lines and 1 line rotation sets tractions. H line center. Sets position location of Fibonacci line swirl and rotation surface. Triangulation reset position of programs. Okay. High calculation of stargates and panels. Okay. And position location of clocking. Sets position locations all levels of intelligence. Platitudes line stream and line rotation. Boom. Intelligence. Right? Intelligence. Okay. Setting track lines, XT1000 comes in, scans lines, and scans lines in 3 locations, right? So this platitudes line communication changes lines of console in line I receptor rotation. Calculation stream location center lines, triangulation resets and programs to pyramid line stream location. Boom. Sets travels lines out through equation. Crosses lines of platform outline setting. Set up another perimeter line rotation position of 3 track locations, settings, high line rotations into infinity 8-line swirl and line communication. Okay, done by equation. Mechanism of travel lines is a position locations how we high volume our set locations, all right? I just want you to understand how this is all set up in position to track locations in high setting. Once you understand the provision, everything comes in sequence. Pattern correlation high interference is 24-line setting. And track to its communication opens all signals. Okay, so that's where we are in set locations. 24 equals 0, 1. Now understanding how to use the 0 lines, so 1-line rotation, 0 lines, and 1-line setting. Okay, inline communications come into this locations, right? Cluster communication lines are cluster calculation of a Hall setting, rotation surface. Line setting in high calculation, right? Sets position to the sun, rotates the surface in line direct signals, and line position location is high volume. Now, in that line rotation interference, sets position of track lines, setting position location to its dimensional sail. Set position of new line operation line surface in a triangulation reset program location assistant, position of traction. So we take the 2 lines of channels, 4-line division locations into pi and set position. Split it in an anomaly in 3-line calculations, all right? So coming in line calculation setting, allocate line interference, 24-line signals, box lines, triangulation of line settings, triangulation of box, and box into triangulation reset position programs. Now, direct line positions of panels comes in this line communications, a high setting position operation. Now, XC1000 comes in, right? Scans positions on 2 tracks, 1 and 2, right? And 3 in center calculations, done by equation, right? So the metric screens calculation line settings, setting up all positions, all platforms, all line calculations into the colossus, the dimensional space, the interdimensional space, the galactic space, the mega space, the multi-layer dimension line communication of space is at 0, 1. Okay, so taking out a division is no longer a clock and line center, it's a 12. It's in hemisync on left and right hemisphere line position of traction. Setting position locations, okay? All right, so in signal, line rotation center position locations, we use the set lines in 13-line graphs, right? 13 equals lines a month, day, and year. Now, in that line set high interference, there's no 12 out of calculations. So 13 sets position of 3, sets position of 1, and 2 line centers of 2 line rotations into 3 sectors over pi correlation. Set up the graph line string, center line rotation, center position location, center line calculation, right? Sets all calculation line interference of 1 and 3 set location, okay? That position line calculation setting. Negative or positive indicates high interference. Track locations, center line rotation, and track to its communications across the string. Directing panels, line calculation setting. Everything is done inside position location operation, right? 13 graph lines and 13 months. Now we change the sun communications in the moon line of track location setting and position operation. Sets communication to sun and quarter line centers of north, east, west, and south location. Okay, done by equation. Center line calculation setting, new circle line, rotation surface, triangulation set locations. For the position locations, 1-line system, position of track lines. Align position locations and line set locations into your pyramid line rotation. Sets film projectors, line calculation setting in 555 in set position. Done by equation, right? So now, what's happened in position of track lines, we're now in a 13 graph, 13 month. Now, in that line of rotations, that's where the avatar sim needs to be. It's always been in set location at 0, 1. Okay, so in that line calculation setting, there's 4 galaxy line shift lines. 1 position, 2 positions, 3 positions, and 4. Okay, center calculation high setting. Okay, travel communications. All right, so it gets a little bit more complicated because we're center line is correlation, right? Directing lines panels, 1 strip lines anomaly. Okay, center correlations, x2000 comes here, x2000 comes here, x2000 comes here, x2000 comes in center line, x2000 comes in 4-line rotation position of travel. Direct communication, sun comes in moon line, rotates the surface location, correlates in highest center location of travel position operation. So everything works in cycle. Same position, location, line, centers. We get 2-track movement. O speeders, right? Setting track location. Set position, location, dimensional sail, solar sail communication, line centers of 0, 1. Calculation of 13. Line interference, 13 line communication, 1300 is travels. Set position of travel. Communication high setting. Boom. All right. So track that correlates in high position locations comes in one signature pattern, one surface line stream. Direct line and position location to its console correlations of patterns and one line rotation in one system location. Okay. Done by equation. Right? You can screenshot that. All right. Waiting on position of travel lines, that is a capsule. Okay, so understanding position of travel lines is understanding position location use space lines. So we got a 13 graph equals 13 line positions and 13 line calculations of day, month, and year. It's all set up. Past, present, and future line positions, right? So changing lines, bracket line communications, one line signature, sets position location of 1 lines, 3 lines, and set position location of 1300 lines, 2 line zeros, 1, 1 position track. So we take the 3 line centers, that's 3 lines correlation setting into 1 line rotation, into 0, 0 in position location in a 24 clocking system. Set position. Okay. Now, understanding the graph screens and line rotation is all levels of set location metrics. Because at 1, 2, 3, 24 line centers, high calculation settings, and rainbow stream location at high set position of travel communication. Okay. So setting position of track lines, open signal line calculation, 0 lines equals lines of all settings, 24, 24 equals line communication equation. Okay, equals lines of factor. Okay, line rotations to vast in velocity. Done by equation. Okay, so we'll keep that on line track because we got to set provisions. Come in this position lines back in frame line rotation. Setting track lines of platforms. Now the platforms correlates the high center interference of travel position location of one setting. Okay, it's across the string. In line calculation of another 0 line rotation. Track position locations, platitude line rotation, sets position of track correlation. High lines, high division, high programs. Okay, now circuit communication color rate the line settings and set location of platforms. Sets position of traction. Done by equation. All right. All right, so waiting on signal line rotations, set up another graph line setting. Set up provisions is really understand how to set its coordinates, all right? Longitude and latitude and line rotations, okay? Bandwidth over calculations to its H-line center. Direct panels, lines, crosses, line rotation, okay? Direct communications and platitude line rotation is center in position of operation. Sets coordinates ascending track lines, high center interference, and position location of crop circle locations. Now, directing communication travels out in 2 line signatures. Okay, sets position location operation. Sets position location operation. Okay, so in that position comes in this line signatures of 2 line tracks. Line calculation of 1 graph string location of setting to a box line rotation of surface and another line communication of 3 set locations. Okay, now understanding how this is all set up is understanding the holographic structure of its design of a triangulation line position of a new program. Line high center position locations into male and female aspects location to setting position of track lines. Setting a line communication setting. So surface line rotation. The masculinity and femininity has to come back in line setting in position of traction. So changing that line calculation setting is all deviation lines of 12 and 12 signatures. Equal lines of 24 and center line rotation, right? Position locations come in this line signatures. This sets this position location and track locations. Now it's done by equation. Very powerful stuff, okay? So the 12 signatures are gone. A space line's anomaly. Time sequence of patterns. setting position of 8 position of space and 8 positions of time in signal line communication in line center location of the future of an line rotation surface and triangulation. Done by equation. It's all set up now. Merkaba and the tesseract line position locations comes in high value. That position line centers comes back in center line rotation through calculations. Grounds line center high in position to its operations surface. All lines of all communication in position of programs in set location. Okay? Boom. It's all done through equation. It's knowing how to reset lines of the Merkaba and the tesseract and the tetrahedron and reforce the line setting. Okay? Setting up defaults and line calculations to enable. Now, the enable line centers are copy and paste. Now, this high volumes, pay attention. This high volumes, your 8 position of space and 8 positions of time. 8 equals lines of location of 24. 8 position of times lines is 24 line signal. Done. All right, so waiting on signal, graphical line rotation, you come in this line positions back in traction. So, understand the zero line communication, it platitudes is line rotations in 2 settings. Okay, coming in line calculation of 2 line rotation in 3 settings. Calculation of 1 lines in 4 settings. Connection high interference on equal line calculation in 5 settings. Set position of 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, boom, done. Graph location settings, holographic line rotation surface, 24 ground lines, center line communication of program location setting, all levels of rotation surface of the sun position of traction. Very powerful stuff in set location and set direction. Mega pass. Okay, the graphical screens of space lines anomaly and time switch interference in set location algorithms is now in a line calculation setting all line position locations into 24 equals lines of 0, 1. So you understand the process and how this works in all location your space lines anomaly? All right. So changing track lines and communication of surface is putting positions of track to its communication line center location to its algorithm. Setting track lines of 0 lines equals lines of 24. Now the signal communication line center interference of 13, 13, 13, platitudes line center location and triangulation reset position of programs. Line position location to your pyramid line center locations into 24 string location of settings and all communication to a system of future of an line interference and set position location to its operation. Done by equation. All right, so modifiers. Triangulation relines of programs and line setting it, set position to its operations surface. So in that position track line, we have one signature line string. Okay. Now, setting lines of alpha line, delta, theta, set position location to your crowns. There's the crown. Okay. Figure 8 line rotation and center line rotations. Okay, so now I'm set up with the 24 line string location of system location you're setting. Done. That's how it's set up. Comes in this position locations, all set location. Channels lines, downline string. Position locations. Mother Earth. Boom. See how that's done? Mother Earth is now in a signal line communication. Look at that. Powerful that is. Location setting attraction. Mother Earth. 24 line centers the streamline and rotations and graph line stream location is setting all levels of operation line service high position location travel lines all position of space. Okay, she's done. All right. So she's in signature line communication of 0 equals lines of 24. Sets position of travel lines. 24 lines of high calculation setting position of all levels of operation. So she's in alpha line, she's in delta, and she's in theta communications in omega and center line of communication setting all direct set location. Mega pass. Okay, Mother Earth. Setting line communications in waves 1, 2, and 3. Her center communication is in highs of 3 line sectors and vectors and quads and line rotation setting and metric correlation stream locations in position of traction. Okay? Mega pass. So she's going to be on waiting signal because we got to modify the line settings. All right. But amazing. And when you see the location of the line center, there's Mother Earth. Right there. Boom. Right? It's all about energetic graph line center interference, setting track to its coordinate setting position of travel lines, putting position locations back into 0 line rotations, geographical screen location setting to hive and line rotation position of travels into nature, communication at grounds, and space lines anomaly, line interference of 0 equals 24. Boom, 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 boom. 0 correlates high center of 3 line zeros, sets position of track lines, into pyramid line rotation center, and position of travel lines. Direct locations into travel communications. 3 line settings and high line rotation center position. Okay, motherships. If you look really close, you can see the mothership line setting. Console communications into the modem. 3 set lines that correlates to high interference of clouds lines that change the location setting or compute line rotation is back in line rotation where it's supposed to be. 0, 1 equals 24 location. Okay, through alpha, delta, and theta. Right? There you go. All right, so we wait on that line rotation. Changing course line settings. Now, in that line interference is all positions, how we position our travels. Directing lines of panel communications comes in all setting, right? So now you're working with a 13 graph, 13 day, month, and year. Okay, the correlations of 4 panels and direct signals. Okay, your northwest, south, and east. Okay, everything's set line communication crosses line setting. Okay, crosses line setting in position of center line. Sets position of 5, 5, 5 set locations. Bracket communication line setting, 24. No, you guys are coming in line rotation, so your guys are now at 4, 4, 4. Okay, equals the acceleration. Set location high positional levels lines, high position locations all levels. Alpha, omega, micro, macro. Okay, it's set position operation. 5 signature lines, center line rotation, surface, and position location setting. Okay, now travel direction of timelines, high calculation time interference, into a new position location of travel state locations and set position of operation. Okay, now in that calculation line interference, we have a 24 line setting north, 24 line setting east, west, and south, all set position operation. New diamond core line, shift line, cross line, set position operation. Okay, now in the course lines, we come into a theta line box that resets position of travel lines in 3 sectors and correlations of travels. Okay, taking line communication settings, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, mechanism of high position of travel. Direct communications comes into the sun, comes into the moon, puts position, location, and projections, and all line calculation setting, and all levels of intelligent formation line inner rotations with calculation. Mega multi-pass. Okay, it's all done. That signifies all calculation setting to new line positions. Okay, mechanism high travels into 555. Heart, mind, and soul, over relay, over programs, overline, overdrive, override, calculation over line setting, high position locations, bringing all calculation high interference into 555 channels and communication settings in the future of now position of travel. And set location of 4 line signatures in 1 line strip and positions of 2 center calculations into 1 system location. Okay? So that's going to travel out, done through equation. So how are we doing through high set location of settings here in traction? It's amazing where we're coming into, eh? All right, so it's just going to go through solar text line setting and pre-flights. Tina position line centers, all of Geneva, how calculation high interference, and Nikki, Heather, communications of Gypsy location settings. Tracted correlation setting, high interference. Hey, Rowan, how's it going? Danielle. All levels, let's go inline setting, all track location of Chris, timeline rotation surface, calculation high in rotations, all levels of Trinity, position location of captain, set position operation. Okay, yep, it's all set up. It's all set up. Yeah, well, that's exactly what it is, but it's also locations of the 3 motherships back in center. That's Mother Earth, right? But she's in position of track lines now, all right? So if you look really close, you can see her face in center here and here. See? It's like this, and it's like this. Okay? 3 motherships in line setting now. Set position. Operation, future adaptation, open signal, open panel, open calculation, open line stream location. Done by equation. Okay? Okay, so in that positions all of his operational line setting. It's amazing how we set up equations, all right? All through graphical line positions of operation service. Okay? Very powerful stuff. Okay? So understand how to use a formula equation line setting. It's about retracting high position location setting and interference and how you become into setting locations into galaxy shift line position line set. It's an anomaly switch. So to switch line calculation setting, the body has to understand the difference. So the body can converge its position of its future of its now, the set location line system. All right, all through track line connections. So one signature pattern, okay, sets position of travel lines. Okay, sets line communication line signature. High calculation, high position of pi. Sonar communication settings and 4 tracks of 5 line rotation. Tracks correlations of Sun in position of Jupiter, in position location of Pluto, in position location of Neptune, and Mercury communication setting and attractions. Okay. Directing communication lines of 2 line signatures, 3 line rotations, 4 line position location of 5 line setting. Communication line interference. Now we bring in the X2000 right there. Crosses line and basically goes on the sky grid line rotation. Okay. Sky lines over here. Okay. You got to understand how the X2000s go line string, but they're always in signature string locations. How do they direct their panels in position of travel lines? Okay. Really understand how they set up energetic graph lines. Planet surface line setting. Electrical line and communication and fusion. There it is, TV box location. Okay. Energized high center interference, 3 wave line rotation. Communications setting of traction. All right. Mechanism line interference, platitude line rotations, sending of track communications. All right. Platitude, 1 graph line rotations, and a center location, another graph line rotation, and center position location of its operation. And another platitude line rotation is center position to its calculation of new zero, new correlation setting, new track location of space anomaly. Okay. So it's amazing how you set these things up to your solar system line set locations. So each planetary lines is a 24 signal, but it's now in 0-1 rotation. 0 calculation. Equal lines is 0-1. Ozone line rotation, the 5 signal high position of travel calculation settings. Equal lines of calculation of 24. Sets position of travel communication of set location. Right? It's all done. E-calculation line interference, each platitude is 13, 13, 13, 13, 13 in 5 line rotation settings. 3 waving cross line strings, set position locations of patterns. Opens up signal lines, travel position location cross line settings. Timestamp. There's the timestamp position of travel lines. Edit formation line set location and console communication setting and traction. Okay. Measures in line direct signals and platform in communication. Okay, this is where it comes in line set locations into your TV box line rotation, surface, and triangulation. Okay, very complicated stuff, but it's a lot of fun. Once you get into measure, then you get in position of box lines and set location of your systems, which is your tesseract position of travel. Now, tesseract line set locations, box line rotations, color the patterns. 1 position locations, outer lines, outer links. Calculation high interference and position location of door settings, high position of travel calculation. Calculation cross lines, box line rotations, encrypted line position location of files, and 4 line rotation to the center. Travel communications, box line comes out, and 3 line communication. Setting direct locations of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 in set position of travel. Calculation high interference, balances line rotations at 3 set location of settings, bounce communication of ground lines at 3 set location of settings, bounce communications upline signals and highline rotation at 24 signal location of settings. Done by equation. Okay. So the connections all over the Merkaba, the tesseract and the tetrahedron is octahedron location and tetrahedron. The position of track line is at 333, heart, mind, and soul. This is an overlay, over calculation lines, and an overdrive line rotation center in position to your planetary surface back in a correlation setting and track whose communication setting, which is in the future of the now. Setting galaxy shift lines and all lines of future communication setting to a 13th month of set position travel and set locations and high set position operation. Okay? Mega fast. Okay? All right. How are we doing so far? Yeah. Coming in that line center, high position locations, all levels. Yes, the motherships. Okay. That's already done. So we all have to understand how this all works in line communications now. Okay. How to redirect your signal locations into your operation surface. Quantum line settings, Q line center line interference location unifications, unification line center CPU. Says traffication of your system. Factorial. Okay, so the factor calculation line interference comes into relay. Sets position location line center location X-ray. Now the X-ray line centers change position of travel lines into zero communication operations surface and position operation locations. Now change the quantum line and line calculations of relay programs. Modifies lines of circle line communication on plateaus and X-ray communications of two platforms of communication. All right. Direct and correlate line interference into magnetic highway information lines of your information panels. Sets the location of center line communications. Direct communications cross line stream location and parent lines into your position locations to setting line calculation, setting and attraction. All line rotations in position of graph line centers high interference puts position location in your systems and all line calculation setting of travel communication. Okay. Mega multipass. All right. Cross line settings, crop circle, 24 signatures of programs. Set location. Okay. Dumb equation. So the center communication of the pyramid says position travels, zero line communication, right? Zero line center. Okay. Pi direction of time sequence. Waiting on signal location of 1300 line rotation centers, location space. Tractors, correlations, balance lines, high calculation setting. Structure of its design, circle line communication setting, inline set location of center position operation. 4 signature streams. Direct communication of 5 line settings, high interference, puts 5, 5, 5 position location of bracket communication of balance, and set position of space, time, and on, and set traction. Okay? All right. Measuring correlation. Scale lines of one signature. So we get a 5 line highest location and position of travels, right? 24 lines into equal line calculations at 1300. Crosses lines at 3, calculates high interference, calculates time and locations into 0 and 0. Line calculates highest locations 3100, right? 3 signature lines of sun, 1 signature panels, and 2 operation certification of graphs. Calculates modification, high and rotation, center position of travel lines, sets position location setting, and levels of operation, and set position location to intelligence, and all position of travel. Line calculating high interference of 13 line rotations, 1 ground line centers, 3 line center interference, 0 line operation, and high calculation setting of travel communications. Direct line communications center lines, high center interference into a dome, or some timelines, 24 line rotation surface triangulation. Okay, now understanding the graph lines of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay. Comes in signal phi, line calculation of the sun and the moon, and backline rotation and center position to its operation. Look how powerful it is. Boom. Look at how powerful that is. Woohoo. All right, because center line, stream lines, crop circle line rotation, center line communication, sets position location line settings, where it's supposed to be, and set position to its operation. Mega pass. So we get a signature line settings and set position to its crop circle. Set a correlation line interference of space lines at high division location 1 line setting, and set position of travel lines. Now, 0 operation, 0 graph line calculations, 5, 5, 5. Heart, mind, and soul. Calculation of founders, calculation of builders, calculations of pioneers. 3 center calculation high centers of 5, 5, 5 position. Change position location calculations. Comes line signature line interference and position all levels of travel. Done by equation. Okay, it's all done. So I know it's awesome, but I was just showing you exactly how you guys come in your line center locations and all position locations to settings. to really understand the Merkaba test work and the tetrahedron and put everything back in setting. All through 8 positions and 8 positions of time. Okay? Space anomaly, line setting high position locations. But look at that. Look at Mother Earth. Oh, she happy. 3 motherships are now in 1 cloud. Now we change the communication setting and the track location line interference. So to put these things back in sequence is to put these everything line communications of the future, of the now, in this application. So zero gravity. Okay, line set lines of level, ozone line position travel communications, right? Set lines of high center interference, direct signal location center rotations, center calculation setting, travel position location on 1 lines and 2 line signature position programs. Calculation high interference, travel the line center location of pi, splits anomalies and 3 line communication setting traction. Sets position locations, 13 here and 0, 0 here, line center, 0, 0 here position, 0, 0 here position, and 0, 0 here position locations, calculation. Direct communication console, line center line rotations, and orb and line rotation surface, triangulation reset programs, intelligent position operation at 24 signature. Look at that. Boom. Okay. Graph communications, 3 signature lines, set line position operation, setting track line communication and setting of travels, line position to your pyramid, and line position of 24 signature string location and settings in future of analysis application. Look at that. Woohoo! All right, done by equation. So it's very powerful when we come into line position location and travel lines, guys. Calculates high interference. Here's the intelligence right here. There's the eyes looking down. Boom! Woo! Right? All adaptation of surface through Pyrex and timelines. All lines of communications back to 0 on northwest, southeast line rotation and position location of 24 block line rotations into 1, 2, and 3 way central communication of intelligence. Wow! Look at that. Okay, so we set that line position locations. Now we come in line centers. Alpha, delta, theta line center location. Okay, mechanism line center alpha, delta, theta line rotation. Okay, done by equation. It's all set up. Okay, so we're going to weigh down that line center interference, but it's amazing how we come to equation. Okay, everything's a hologram. Everything's a hologram. It's understanding how to use the form of this equation to all calculation modifications. All right. Everything that you voice, everything that you channel, everything that you touch, everything that you do is back at 24. Do you understand the importance of what that is now? And your body is at position to a setting, which has always been in the future adaptation of the surface. You open up the mind, the operational line set location first, and then you get into the tracker line communication settings in all lines of communication to its artery location at back and center. All right? So, energetic graph line rotation surface and triangulation high position operation. Bracket 2 communication lines. So we got a 0 lines of 3 set location and travel. Setting correlation set 0 line rotation and triangulation. And 4 lines set lines of high center location of 3, position location 4, and 5 line rotation. Triangulation lines of 1 and calculation of 2. 3, it's called going to be in chronological order. 4 lines, 5 line position of center. 6 position location over here, sets locations in a half pipe, sets position location another half pipe, triangulations of pi, direct line connection, split the anomaly line center, calculation line interference, triangulation resets, off line center, off calculation, off position location, travel position operation, sets correlation high center interference, and travel communication, intelligence, boom. So 0 gravity line center is a triangulation of 4 set position location setting. Travel communication, pyramid line rotation. Travel calculation line centers, pyramid line rotation. Center position of travel lines, pyramid line rotation. Calculus high center interference, ground line shift, cross line streams, sets position of travel lines, pyramid line rotation. Right? 3 motherships. Center communication is 0 line, 0 line, 0 line, and 3 panels of 2 line rotation, center position of a hologram string location, of setting of traction, mega pass. Okay, and center calculations of levels. Platitude lines of 3 location, platitude lines of 3 locations, and platitude lines of 3 locations. Okay, look how powerful that is. Now we set up the graph line settings and platitudes and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because that's where you are. And position locations on line center location of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because that's where you are. Position location all center locations of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because that's where you are. Done. Mega pass. 5, 5, 5. It's all set up. Walking sequence lines. Sun comes in. Moon line rotates as service triangulation. Reset position of programs. Direct communication lines as center lines. Center lines are high and center line position locations into star panels. Stargate star position locations into Asgard and set position of operation. Woohoo! Calculation modification lines. Ground line signature line rotation position of road grass screens. In Pi, a recognition of time sequence of the future of the now. Woohoo! There it is. Woo! We did it. Now the signature lines, the graph line center locations, in position location of the waves, 1, 2, and 3, is now set up a platitude line interference in track location setting and all level rotation interference of 5, 5, 5 position locations, walking step location line centers, in position location operation. Mega pass. It's all set up through Asgard. It's amazing how we set location and travel settings. All done. Okay? Waiting on position to location travels. We come back and frame position lines of operation. Now, communication line centers, we set the 3 line circles, 3 line position of travel lines, and vectors over pi. Position lines, calculations, set. Okay? Setting correlations of graph lines, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? Direct line panels, dimensional sail, and cross line stream location. Okay? Very complicated stuff. Now, the plasma line center location of 2 lines of zeros, 2 lines of north, 2 lines of south, and 2 lines of east comes into position location of cloud and center communication lines and the plasma communication line setting and direct location of levels, brain converge location line centers, the 4 position of travel communications, all levels operation line center location travel communication line interference, high position location operation line interference, high position location operation line calculation setting, all calculation modification line interference, high position location operation. Done by equation. Woohoo! Boom. The cerebral cortex lines of all calculation line settings, the platitude of 1555 high position of travel line is now in the center operation location in a line calculation setting of 01 of 24 locations. Cerebral cortex, a reset position to your astral projections. It's all done. It's all done. Okay? Woo! Hey, that's how it's done. I got the dogs in that setting line position operations service, but it's amazing how we come in line position to our settings, right? So it's incredible how we set these things up. Okay? Everything's back in balance. All through set location near cerebrals, all set location dimensional space and time, all set line position location after projections. Light signature patterns and all line position location, and now in the future of the now line connection of space and time. All through traction. Okay? It's all done. Woohoo! Now, I know you guys are going to have a lot of questions after this line communication. But that's it. We're done. How's everybody I know, it's hard to believe these locations. But look at that. Look at Asgard. Look how it's set up. Boom. 555, right? We got the walkway path line. We got a position of track communications. We got the interline rotations. We got the new astral projection location setting. We got the communication interference line calculation setting, position of track lines, communication of the moon line, center line interference, the new sun communication levels, astral projection location setting, the track communication line interference, indirect location system, and a 24 line rotation of clocking. Okay? All through graphical screen location. Boom. Okay? Beautiful, isn't it? All right, that's it. See you in 5. Adios.